Hey, hip mobility is huge when it comes to getting rid of low back pain, being able to exercise and do stuff without having discomfort. And you got to start now in order if you want to be mobile and be able to do stuff down the road. These are the 4 things that I've been doing to work on my own hip mobility. And I think I've finally got a routine figured out that I can share with you. Please do this every day for at least a week, and then at least every other day until your next progress evaluation, so we can see what kind of breakthroughs you can make with your low back. Okay, so first one is getting your leg bone, literally your femur head, to turn inside the bone that's called your ilium. This is your actual hip. Most people say, oh, my hip. No, your hip is that socket right there that you can plug deep inside there. So the idea is I want to turn that inward like this because that rarely ever happens. I like to put my hands on some sort of a chair or bench. Watch my toes. I'm going to come up onto the ball of my foot or my toes so that when I turn, I can rotate my leg more. So you don't want to try to do it with your foot flat because it's not going to work. Up on my toes, I'm going to turn. And if you watch here, I'm trying to not do this. I'm trying to not let my pelvis drop or fall into it. I'm purposely trying to hold my pelvis still and turn my leg bone inside that only. And so I'm going to go right, left, a little bit different angle for you. I'm doing here. I'm going to look at it from behind. I'm doing like this, and ultimately what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to do 10 to each side as a minimum and work up to doing 20 on each side. Next thing that's important is stretching your psoas or your hip flexor, and that's a muscle that's deep inside of here. Most of the time, if you sit a lot at work, it's going to be really short. If you have discomfort when you stand up to walk, it's probably because your hip flexors are too tight. And so you want to get into like a lunging position, and we're stretching this one right now, so it's my leg that I'm down on my knee. I'm going to shift my pelvis forward until I feel tightness in that muscle right at the top of my leg. I'm then going to have my hands up, and I'm going to turn away from that, and you should feel that stretch come up into here. And it's going to be a 1/1002, about a 2-second hold, and then come back to neutral. Switching sides, so you can see it on this way. I'm going to be turning 1/1002 and then back to normal. 1/1002, back to normal. Start with 10 on each side once you're working up to 20 on each side. So the next one is, I think, the best way to stretch this muscle right here. It's called your quadratus lumborum, or your QL. And if you can see my foot, I'm going to take my right foot, and I'm going to stick it out to the side. Not back here. Doesn't have to be way up here, but it's going to be about in line with my shoulders right here. And my foot is not going to be on the toes. I want to try to rest it on the side of my foot. And then this arm can bend, but this one's got to stay straight. And I'm going to let my pelvis basically fall down to the ground. And if this arm stays straight, this one can bend, this one's straight. I'm letting my lower body just kind of sink in. Keeping my upper body up and keeping my arms stiff allows that to stretch this area right here on this side. I'll switch right now so you can see the difference. I'm here, and this arm stays straight. As I drop in, I'm staying tall, and it's right here. Now, you should feel a stretch right there, but here's how you add to that. You're going to turn toward the arm that's stiff. So I'll drop in and turn. Drop in and turn, and that's going to bring it up even more. Let me do it at a different angle for you. So let's pretend I'm here. I'm going to shoot my foot through. I'm going to drop down and turn this way. This way. So I'm dropping down and I'm turning toward the stiff arm right there. That should create a major stretch in this muscle right here. And again, 10 on each side, working up to 20 on each side. All right. Save the best for last. Watch this one. So you want to be doing basically the splits. I would encourage you to do this on a bed, your couch, or if you've got carpet or some padded floor at home, but it's not easy on the knees. And so take yourself into a position where you feel a stretch, but it's comfortable enough to kind of sit here with your hands supporting you. Then what you want to do is be able to rock your butt backward. And as I rock my pelvis or butt backward that way, I feel a significant increase in the stretch on the inside of my legs. Now it's important you're stretching the inside of your legs a lot, because the muscle of the purpose of that muscle is to turn your leg in and bring your leg in. And so the muscles back here take your leg out and turn your leg out. So if you're tight on the inside of your legs, then these muscles back here are constantly fighting that tightness, which may be the reason why you still have soreness in your low back. So as you start to stretch these guys don't have to work as hard to fight that because they're looser and they're functioning better. That's hip mobility. In regard to this, I would stretch like that. I'd rock my pelvis back at least 20 times, working up to probably 40. So do those 4 exercises. The entire thing should take you around 5 minutes, but you gotta be doing that consistently if you wanna see breakthrough. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Push record.